Dirtfish Rally, friends. Goodness me, what a Friday we have had here at Rally Japan. There's been so much anticipation of this one, David, and goodness me, it did deliver, didn't it, Friday? We've been watching that battle for the World Championship. Thierry Neuville, he's the man with the buffer. Tänak, he's the man with the job to do. Neuville, what a day he's had out there.
Well, a great day to start with. Unbelievable.
The opening stage.
Oh, fantastic. And he himself described as an awesome pace, and he was absolutely right. But
First
then,
two stages.
Yeah, it just went pear-shaped, didn't it? We still don't know. We think it's an engine problem. Is it electrical? Is it wastegate? Is it whatever? But that impacted massively and turned his day upside down.
Really did, and do you know what? That happened just before the lunchtime tyre fitting zone, and that's the point to make here. They didn't have a service, they didn't have the engineers available, they didn't have the analysis available, and they're still not, I don't think, 100% sure. So he carried that problem, hemorrhage time, all afternoon.
Yeah, minutes. It wasn't, the odd second or 10 seconds, it was minutes, and it was painful to watch, wasn't it? Watching him go through, and the engine didn't have enough power to pull fourth gear. It was a nightmare. But, he has to keep that all in context. He has to remember that the baseball field.
He has been thrown a curveball today.
Yes, thrown a curveball. But a ball remains in his court. That's a bit more of a tennis analogy. It's still his game to lose, isn't it?
I'm probably not the only one. I think the whole team is disappointed about the happenings of the day, because obviously things are not going after plan for us at the moment, despite having a car in the lead. Could have been two.
Can you tell us now exactly what that problem is?
No, unfortunately not. They have to take off some parts to see what exactly is wrong, but the turbo seems to be okay, so it must be something else.
Yeah. Do you think, though, he is beginning to feel a little bit of pressure? I think he is. We talked to him at the end of the day, and he was down. Is that the same thing?
Well,
pressure?
For the first time in almost years, he just seemed really down. Like proper weight of the world on his shoulders, and it is difficult. And he's had in his mind for the last 5 weeks, I know what I've got to do. I'm going to do it, and the car's let him down. There's no two ways around it. And he's now facing, it's not an uphill task. At the minute, you talk to him here, and it's still, he's a fairly troubled man.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be.
No,
he just needs to remember what he's got to do tomorrow.
I agree.
He's got a lot of points to make on Sunday, but he can just stay sensible. He can still do this.
Yeah, but the man who he is worried about, clearly, Tänak, he's had the most magnificent day out there. He leads by 20 seconds at the end of the day from Elfyn Evans.
Yeah, afternoon has been quite straightforward, so definitely much more consistent than this morning.
And what was the main priority now then? Is it still the same? Is it still the manufacturers?
Yeah, we need to stay ahead of Toyota, so that's for sure. So.
It's definitely now a change in terms of the chance. There's a better chance now that you may yet grab the driver's title. Do you think about that?
So what can I do differently about that?
I don't know. Can you do anything differently?
It's difficult to go further than first, so what else can we do? So.
And David, it really has been the Tänak of old. It's been a masterclass from him, particularly this afternoon. Difficult conditions, and he has looked really comfortable out there.
He absolutely, I think, Cole, Oit's talked about the fact that it's manufacturers, almost resolutely has refused to talk about the Drivers' Championship. Now he's got to. There is that opportunity, having said all of that about Thierry, the ball's in his court, it is. But there is a bigger opportunity for Tänak, and he's absolutely grasping it. Despite what he's saying about, I'm just doing my job, no way. He's got that opportunity. You see, when he came out in that first stage this afternoon, he absolutely demolished everybody.
Oh, it was a statement of intent.
Yeah.
To everyone, to Elfyn Evans in particular, because Evans, remember, went into the tyre zone leading. It was a fractional lead.
Yeah.
But he came out and said, look,
if you want this,
you're going to have to come and get it.
Yeah.
You really are going to have to come and get it.
Yeah.
What about the dynamic between Neuville and Tänak, David? They're conflicted. The two of them are conflicted. Both of them, more than anything, want to win the driver's title.
Yeah.
But they know that they have to show a unified face to win the manufacturer's title. I think they're conflicted. I'm not saying there's conflict, but I think they're conflicted in their thoughts.
I think it's fair to say, Colin, the relationship between them is fractious, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not harmonious. And, when they arrived here, they Tänak got out the car and didn't really engage with Thierry. Thierry didn't really engage with... But ultimately, they're fighting for a world championship. Yes, they're wearing the same race suits, but they're fighting. They are absolute rivals. And you know, one very senior member of the service part, we were talking a lot about the way this championship, both championship fights are unfolding. And he said, never forget, drivers, whatever they tell you, they are super selfish. They are only interested in their own game, their own drivers' championship, and you can see it.
Yeah.
You know, of course they're going to talk the talk about manufacturers and what have you, but ultimately they both want that glory. And this is now, it is a very, very difficult position for Hyundai, because yesterday it was a bit more straightforward. You know, you do that, and you know, you're not really going to catch that 25 points. Now Tänak can go back and he can say, Mr. Unbeatable, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, look at this.
It's on
This is
again.
it is.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult now for Unbeatable to say, no, wind that all back in. And as you say, the curveball is Mikkelsen.
Yeah, Mikkelsen had a very, very difficult day out there. He was struggling before in the second pass, the Izagami tunnel stage. He put the car off. Well, he was a bit ambitious into a corner, missed his braking, and yeah, put his car into a tree. A really sad end to the day for Mikkelsen. What he's done with that off is he's put so much more pressure in terms of the manufacturers on his two senior drivers. But if we are talking about the manufacturers, clearly then we have to talk about Toyota. They're sole aim. Elvin Evans, Seb Ogier and Takamoto Katsuta is the manufacturer's title. It looked early doors this morning as if it was all over for them.
Yeah, it was just a nightmare start, wasn't it? Just they were the ones that had to go out, they had to win the rally, they had to be 1-2, and immediately, bang, Ogier, puncture.
Bang!
Yeah, and that was
He doesn't
it.
know why.
And then Taka, second one, you know, it was the worst start to the day. And then, you know, the day kind of came back to them and went away from Hyundai. An incredibly topsy-turvy day, but Elvin's there, 20 seconds behind Tänak. He needs a big push tomorrow.
Yeah, when we caught up with Elvin, David, it was really interesting because you asked him the question, look, is now the time for you to absolutely throw everything at this? Is it a win it or bin it situation now for Elvin Evans?
You know, like this rally, if you really go or bust, you won't make the stage. It's clear, you know, with conditions like this and the rally, the nature it is, you don't get away with it, you know, like you would in Wales or somewhere like that. So, you know, you used to just drive well.
It's 20 seconds catchable on Tänak.
Well, it is, but it's not easy. That's what we know. So, of course, we have to keep doing our best until you know, it's clear it's not possible, and yeah, we'll keep doing that.
Well, Elvin Evans clearly with a huge job to do on Saturday. He really does have to try. Is it an impossible task to haul in Ott Tänak, David?
It's a very, very difficult task, isn't it? Because they're both absolutely on the door handles now. You know, there's not a lot. They've both got, Tänak's got that championship. He needs to stay ahead. And Elvin needs to be in that position to try and win the manufacturer. So 20 seconds is a lot, Colin, particularly tomorrow. The stages are that bit quicker. You know, there's not so many tight twisties that you can leave your braking that bit fractionally later to try and make up time. So it's a big ask.
Elvin will do all he can. What about our other two Toyota drivers? We talked already about the problems for Seb Ogier. He lost 2 minutes with that puncture. He has fought back nicely, but the other driver who really has fought back so well this afternoon in particular is Takamoto Katsuta. Yes, he's in fourth place, but he's tenths of a second behind Adrian Formeau. It is really important that Katsuta gets ahead of Formeau tomorrow, David, and he's very, very capable of doing that.
I think we'll see, if everything remains the same, I think we'll see him progress. As you said to him, you know, you've taken a minute out of Formeau today. Yeah. It's a lot to ask Formeau to hold him off when he hasn't driven any of these stages, has he, competitively? So no, it's been a strong day from Formeau, particularly because there's been still some setup issues with the car, struggling to rotate the car at times. Taka, you just kind of feel for him. You know, he came here desperate to win, to give these tens, hundreds of thousands of fans here something to really cheer about, and it kind of that opportunity went. But yeah, he's shown real fight, and you know, he's another driver that's conflicted because he wants to absolutely go.
Yes.
But he himself said he's nervous. You know, he's apprehensive about pushing too hard.
I just felt like last year when I was pushing like hell, I was enjoying a lot, but now it's totally different feeling. I have to finish the rally. I am very, let's say, nervous because I don't want to make mistake and more safety side all the time. Sometimes it's like, of course, safety side is sometimes gives you the safety feeling, but then you lose rhythm a bit, and then confidence is not really creating another good step. So, but I still hoping that I should have pace to when I push. So, yeah.
He's not in a position to push for second or first. He really is too far behind. Even Tänak at his very, very best can't get that far. Without doing too much more, he will take third place. If you're in third, anything can happen in front of you. Anything can happen, particularly with, as we know, Tänak and Evans. You know, it's who blinks first there. It really is tomorrow. So I think Tänak is not in a bad place.
He's not, and you know, he doesn't perhaps need to turn it up to the max to get past Formo. So if he can then sit in third, then suddenly, you know, you've got Toyota second and third. If Tänak has an issue and he drops back, it's a dream scenario again, isn't it, for Toyota to be 1-2?
Nothing is decided yet.
Nothing.
Really nothing is decided. It looks so difficult for Toyota, but far from impossible. It looks difficult for Tänak, but far from impossible. No, it's building beautifully. It might all come down, sorry,
to the
David,
power stage.
to the power stage. I know you don't like it, but I've missed it, so I'm going to do it. It might yet all come down to the power stage. In terms of Rally 2, Sami Pari was another one who had an early door scare today, picking up a puncture early on. Dropped him back a little bit, but he's done a really good job out there. He's sitting in second place, which is where he has to be. He either has to win or come second to take the title. He's fairly comfortable in second place, but I think that puncture just showed him, look, anything could yet happen. He really has to be on his A game for the remaining day and a half.
I'm not sure. I think he's got a gap that he can potentially manage now. So keep the car in the middle of the road. You know, it is so easy to catch a puncture with these gullies and the curbs at the side of the road. Keep the car in the middle of the road. Forget any heroics. You know, Greisen's way down the road now in first. Let him go. Focus on second. Just do your job. Bring it home. Become a world champion.
Well, Sammy obviously struggling with a puncture. A man who really did struggle in the same stage was Gus Greensmith. He had an off, which, well, it could have been catastrophic for him. He did manage to change that suspension part and get going again. But Greensmith, this rally just looks like a continuation of his year. It's been a difficult, difficult year out there for Gus Greensmith. So, David, any other notable performances out there today?
Josh McElwain, pretty strong from him, sitting in third. Heikki Kovalainen
yes,
as well, great. I mean, just a great friend of Dirtfish, and just after everything Heikki's been through this year, it's fantastic to see the guy living and breathing. And secondly, to see him driving a Toyota GI Yaris as quickly as he is. So good on you, Heikki. Great from him. And another Toyota GI Yaris.
Yeah.
Didier Auriol leading the national class. Not entirely sure the classic score, but doing very well.
Listen, folks, we've enjoyed tremendously the action, the drama. We've enjoyed, trying to work out all the computations today, the possibilities. It has been wonderful. What are your thoughts? Who is in the box seat right now? Who's been thrown a curveball? Who's the one that's striking the home run? Who's the one that's hit it out the park today? I don't know. Let us know your thoughts below, folks. We love to see your comments. Don't forget as well, folks, Dirtfish is very much the rally school of choice for any of you who want to hone, improve, or maybe just unleash your rallying skills. Nothing has been decided yet here, folks. There is lots more to come from Rally Japan. It has delivered in spades today. Will it be buckets and spades tomorrow? I really don't know what's going. Yes, it's a strange one, isn't it? It's a strange one.
That's like in a baseball.
Doesn't mean anything, does it? Doesn't really mean anything. What more is to come tomorrow?
It's going to be a great day.
It will
Good
be a
night.
great day. We'll see you tomorrow.